Are you in lockdown? Are you bored out of your mind with nothing to do but lie in your bed and reminisce about those times when at least you could do nothing with your friends? Well, why not start learning Japanese? It's only one of the most difficult languages for native English speakers / in the world. Okay, I might be exaggerating a bit, but you get the gist. If you're in lockdown at the moment and you want to learn a new language, then Japanese is definitely a great one to pick. However, it can seem a little intimidating to start with. But once you get into it, and once you take into account these tips and tricks, I'm sure you'll have lots of fun. This is the first video in a 3-part series where I show you how I approach different aspects of a language and how you can too. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, why don't you take the time to subscribe and like this video. There are also timestamps in the description, so if you want to check out a specific part of the video, they're down there for you. One of the most scary things about Japanese has to be its completely different writing system. We've got hiragana, katakana, consisting of 46 characters, and kanji. There are millions and millions and millions of them, and they deserve their own video. So, we're going to look at hiragana and katakana today. I've already made a video explaining how to learn hiragana and katakana, so please do check that out. I'll link it in the description box. But I'm just going to talk a little bit about how I learned hiragana and how long it took me. So it took me about 2 months to become fluent in hiragana, and that is because I had school, homework, and I just didn't have time to go through 10 characters every single day. I was going through about 5 or 6 or 7 characters every week, and so I was just ticking them off gradually. But I used apps to revise on the train, on the way to school. But I know a lot of people say, oh, you should never spend more than 2 days learning hiragana and katakana. That's not true. I wanted to learn how to write them, and I did loads of drill sheets so that I could learn this. And it definitely paid off because now I'm much faster at them. One thing you shouldn't do, though, is pick up romaji. This is a romanized version of Japanese. You should not use it. Only use it if you're planning to learn conversational Japanese and you're not actually focused on reading. If you're wanting to read and write Japanese, stay away from romaji. That middle column is the romaji. It's like romanized letters. The only time where you might use romaji is when you're learning hiragana and katakana and you want to learn the pronunciation. That's absolutely fine. But after that, please stay away from it. Stroke order is so important when you're writing, and I definitely think it's worth learning. As you get faster and faster at writing, stroke order becomes more and more important because it makes your characters recognizable. For learning how to handwrite properly, I really recommend getting a grid notebook like this. It's really helped because I can make my characters more balanced by looking at the different sort of grid lines and using some worksheets. So now we've learned hiragana and katakana, we need to learn some vocabulary. Grammar is useless without vocabulary, so I recommend you get a vocab list to start off with. You can either use the ones found in your textbook, or you can go online. In the Genki textbook, within each lesson there is about 60 new vocabulary words. But if you don't have a textbook like Genki, that's absolutely fine. Just go online and search up beginner Japanese vocabulary list or core 100 Japanese vocab, something like that, and you'll get loads of options that pop up. Like here you can see there are loads and loads and loads of vocabulary lists available. Just pick one and stick to it. One of the websites that I really recommend for learning Japanese is Tofugu. It's not only great for Japanese grammar and vocab, it's also great if you want to learn about Japanese culture. They have so many blog posts and amazing resources available on their website for absolutely free. On their website you can find the 100 most important vocabulary words, and you can actually download a spreadsheet of these by signing up to their newsletter. This next one is the Marigoto starter word book, and this is more pictorial. You can find this on the Marigoto textbook website for absolutely free. It's available in loads of different languages, so if you want to try learning Japanese through a different language, for example German or Spanish or even Korean, they have word books like vocab lists in loads of different languages. I sort of like looking at these because they're pictures, and I don't know, I'm quite a visual learner, so that helps. Now, once you have a vocab list, you need to learn those words, so I use Memrise. Memrise is an amazing app. It's based on spaced repetition, so it shows you words that you are less confident with more often than it shows you words that you're really confident with. All you do is go on the website, search up for a pre-made course, for example, Genki, vocabulary, and kanji, and just select one, and then it will appear in your app and you can start learning. There are loads and loads of functions, and it's really great for getting those words into your head. So if you can start by learning words, it's a learning words function. There's also a classic review function where it just reminds you of these different words, and it uses that spaced repetition system technology really well to make sure that you're revising words that you're less confident with more often. You can also set like a daily goal for the amount of words you want to learn. So I've got mine set to 5 words a day, and I'm actually quite proud that I've got a 16-day streak. I only started using Memrise a couple of weeks ago, so this is really good. There are also loads of different learning functions, so you can actually review the words you find trickiest with this difficult words function. I find it super helpful. But yeah, that's Memrise. It's a really, really good app. Now, I know in my last video I mentioned using Quizlet a lot, and I've actually stopped using it so much because it isn't spaced repetition based. I'd say this is more of a review app if you just want to test yourself on those words once you know them. The options, although there are quite a lot of functions available, they're not really optimized for long-term language learning, so I'd recommend using Memrise over this app. They're both free apps, so just try them both. I quite like the match game though. With the test, I think it's quite good because you can see what you got on your previous tests. So I like doing this to check my progress, but I don't use this for long-term vocabulary learning. The next app is Jisho. This is a dictionary app that I use to search up any words that I don't know or any words that I want to add to my vocabulary list. It gives you the kanji and loads of example sentences. So this is great if you want to make your own example sentences, which I'll show you later, but it also shows you the stroke order of the kanji if you click on the kanji, which is really great because a lot of dictionary apps, they just show you what the kanji is and they don't show you the handwritten version of kanji, because the computer font and handwritten font of kanji can be quite different, but that's for a whole nother video. I'll save all of this good stuff about this app for my kanji video, but I'll leave it at that. It's such a good app though. I thought I'd look quickly at Duolingo, as this is like a beginner Japanese video. I thought maybe a lot of people would have questions about Duolingo for learning Japanese. Personally, I think it's more of a review app than anything else. The content isn't that detailed, so if you want to use this for learning grammar, then probably look somewhere else. Otherwise, it's a cute app and it's nice if you're a bit bored and you just want to revise some Japanese, but probably not for all of your Japanese studies. You can also learn vocabulary by writing it down, and at the start of each lesson I like to write down all of the vocabulary. I write the translation in a red pen, so then I can go back with this red plastic sheet that I actually cut out from a red plastic envelope, and you just overlay that on top of the translation, and then you can test yourself to see if you know the words. And this is just good, if you want to remind yourself of a couple different words. But hands down, the best way to test your knowledge of both grammar and vocab is to write example sentences, and that's why I like using the dictionary app, because you can check and copy down loads of different example sentences and also create your own. I like doing this and I definitely recommend it. So I guess that's the end of the video, and thank you so much for watching. I thought I'd give you a little taster of what's coming in a couple weeks time, actually 1 week time. I'm going to be talking about how I learned Japanese grammar and how you can too. I'm also going to be talking about learning kanji, and I'll be reviewing this Nihongo Challenge kanji book, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to comment down below, give us a like, and subscribe if you want more content. Thank you so much, and bye-bye!